So in the last session, I told you that there is a possibility that you can add a third variable, or you can visualize a third variable along with the two variables with the help of the hue parameter. So this was our discussion, that we can add a third variable with the help of hue parameter in our plot. So we added a smoker parameter in our plot along with the total bill x-axis and the tip on the y-axis. Now let us try our hands on this. These are the three plots. This is for the basic scatter plot. Okay, and then this is where I have taken hue as smoker, but no order has been set. And then here I have taken hue parameter equal to smoker, and I have mentioned the order as well I want to take. Please note, in all the three cases I have used plt.show here as well as here and finally here, because I want to show all the three plots together for better comparison. So let's run this. Yeah. So you can see this is the scenario where the relationship between total bill and tip can be seen, but there is no third parameter here. To filter this relationship on the basis of third parameter smoker, this is what the graph you will get. So blue ones are the people who are the non-smokers and orange ones are the people who are the. And finally, if you want to set a particular order, you can set like you want to have yes first, so you can place the order accordingly, the way we have done here. The next discussion was on setting the hue order and specifying the hue colors as well. So by default, our graph has taken this color, our plot has taken these. If you wish, you can mention your own colors. Like for example, I have mentioned that I want yes values to be colored as black and no values to be colored as red. That totally customizable. I have discussed all the possible color options with you in the last session. Then we'll use the scatter plot function, the x values, the y values, the data which we have, and finally the hue and the hue order. Then since I want to mention the colors as well, so I have added another parameter here, which is the palette equal to hue underscore colors, which I have defined above. Then plt.show finally, and let's run this, and we can see that now the coloring is as per our definition. Yes, the people who are smokers mean yes are being colored as black, and the people who are not smokers have been colored as red. Then you can set the hue order as well as specify the hue colors. Okay, so this is the color specification with the help of the HTML codes. So I told you that these are the codes if you want to use color. So that these are the matplotlib names. So either you can use the entire name or you can write the entire abbreviation or you can use the HTML codes as well, your choice. So if you mention the codes like here, uh, we have defined the hue underscore colors as yes, I want to assign this color. Now I have not named the color, I have not used the abbreviation, rather than I have used the required code. So the library will automatically understand that this code represents the gray color and this code represents the green color. The same function, the sns.scatterplot, and that will give you this type of plot. This is what we have done here. Okay, so hue colors have been defined as an HTML codes, and then we have used the scatterplot function, and then finally run code, and this is what you get, the customized colors for your plot, and that is where the Seaborn score. Then you can use hue with count plots as well. So again, instead of scatter plot, you will use the count plot. Now in count plot, you don't need two variables. You need only one variable which you want to count. So whatever variable you want to count, you can count it as X. So normally it's a categorical variable. Bar plots are something which are more specific with categorical variables, which we have discussed earlier as well. So I want to count the number of smokers. Data is the F, and I want to hue means I want to add another variable, filter it with another variable which is text variable, and then the plt.show. So this will show you the number the smokers which are females and the number of smokers which are male. and similarly uh, here as well. Okay, so blue ones are the females. So these blue ones are the females which are not smoker. These ones are the females which are uh, sorry. So this blue one is representing the females. So these are the number of females which are not smokers. These are the number of females which are smokers. So similarly, these are the number of males which are not smokers. These are the number of males which are smokers. All right. This is how you can use with the help of count plots. So you can say here, like this is what we have placed the code using the hue with count plot. The count plot function has been used. We have taken the hue equal to 6 and we need to count the number of smokers and then the plt dot show. So if you run this, what you get, right? This is the same plot which I have listed there. This shows the number of sorry, blue shows the number of males which, yeah, so blue shows the number of males which are not smokers, and orange shows the number of females which are not smokers. Okay, so you have to see how this works. So blue is representing male here. Okay, number of males which are not smokers, number of males, sorry, number of males which are smokers, number of males which are not smokers. Yes, this is no. Yes means they are smokers, no means they are not smokers. Only orange is number of females which are smokers and number of males which are not smokers. Okay, so just a little, you have to just see how it is shown, and accordingly you can visualize the required plot. So that's where you can the hue with the help of count plots. Now, the next very significant topic which you need to understand in the Seaborn library is the understanding of what is known as relational plots and the subplots. Now, relational plots simply means which describes the relationship between two variables. Like for example, if you are drawing a plot between height and weight, then the relational plot will explain uh, the compatibility or the movement of both the variables with each other. Similarly, the relationship between school or number of school absences with the final grade, that how the school absences affect the final grade of the student. That explains a certain relationship. GDP versus the person literate, how the GDP is related to the number of literate people in the country, or how you want to make a comparison of smokers versus the non-smokers. So there is a relationship that you are trying to define between two variables, and that is why we call them as relational plots or the relational subplots. Very powerful feature of the CMON library. So let's talk about relation plot. So the function is rel plot, open and closing parenthesis. Okay, so you can draw any type of plot with the help of rel plot function, and the basic use of or the major usage of rel plot over other plot functions like scatter plot or line plot is that you don't have to change code and again. Like for example, if I want to draw a scatter plot, I will use sns dot scatter plot x and y values in the data and then plt dot show. If I'm using rel plot function, then I will use rel plot instead of scatter plot, x and y values, the data, and then I have to simply mention what kind of plot I want to produce. If I want to produce scatter, I will write kind equal to scatter. If I want to produce any other type of plot, I can write any type of plot, kind equal to line or whatever I want to produce. That is the power of using the rel plot function. You don't have to change the function according to the type of plot that you want to visualize. The function will remain rel plot, and within that function there is a kind parameter that you need to change, and accordingly the plot will differ, or the required the requested plot will come to you. So then there is a subplotting column and row, which uh, is very popular functionality of CMON. So I can place things in a column and no column in a column and row format as well. So earlier, which we what we have done is that with the help of the hue parameter, we were visualizing the third variable in the same plot area. So three variables were actually placed in the same plot area: the total bill, the tip, and the smoker. Now here, what you can do. you can basically uh, use subplots functionality, and with the help of the subplot functionality, maybe in the form of column or maybe in the form of row, you can have some better visualizations. Let's say, for example, I want to plot between x and y. So x is total bill, y is step, data is dfs. Kind, I want to have a scatter plot. And then instead of hue parameter, I have introduced a column parameter here, column equal to smoker. So when you will call this code, this is what you will get. So for people who are not smokers, we have a different plot. For people who are smokers, we have a different plot. Earlier, all the three variables were shown in the same area, like this one, this plot which we have done, right? So three variables in the same area. One variable total bill, the other variable tip, and the third is the smoker variable, which we have mentioned with the help of hue parameter. So again, similarly, you can have the subplot in rows as well. So instead of column function here, you have to use the row function and plt.show, and this is how you get. Okay, you will get two rows, the first row and the second row. So that is subplotting columns, and this is subplotting in the form of rows. Again, very simple. The function remains same, rel plot. It is only the extra parameters that you have to introduce and put in. So before we move ahead, let's see a few examples. So this is where I want to scatter plot between total bill and tip. Okay, and then this is where I have used the rel plot function instead of scatter plot function. So I have used plt.show twice because I want to show you both the plots. You can see if you are using a scatter plot function, this is what you get. If you're using a rel plot function, this is what you get. Same, exactly same. But the level of comfort is more when you are using the rel plot function as compared to the this scatter plot function. Similarly, if you want to produce the subplots which we have just discussed, so sns.rel plot, and then these are the two this one extra parameter which you need to define. So this will introduce the third variable or will filter the x and y values according to the third variable. And let's run this. Yeah. So this is first column, this is second column. This is how this one takes. When you will do bokeh later on, bokeh takes it in a different way. So, but this is how Seaborn works. Seaborn takes this as the first column and takes this column. So people who are smoker, they have been shown separately. People who are not smokers, they have been shown. If you want to do the subplotting in rows, then you have to, the entire data set is same except this, that you have to use the uh, row function instead of column. And when you call this code, find that you'll get the data in the form of column. This sorry, data in the form of rows. This is first row. This is second row. The first row is showcasing the people who are smokers, and second row is showcasing people who are not smokers. It's so simple. It's so simple. Trust me, using Seaborn, using Matplotlib is one of the simplest things that you can do in the Python, and that is where you need to, the entire crux of data visualization lies, and that's where you can master the technique of data visualization. Then let's take another example, subplotting in rows and columns. So here I am again taking x, y, kind scatter. Now this time I am introducing a fourth variable actually, which is the time variable. But before we really go deep into this and start understanding one level up, uh, let's stop this session here and keep practicing, keep plotting.